you can see the transition from one democratic government to the other. 25 years, we have transited about 4-5 governments. So it's an achievement for democracy. That is one. Two is that when you are talking about democracy, it's the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. You cannot sit on the fence. All the stakeholders have roles to play. I'm an activist, I'm a comrade, I'm a student union activist. I left school, I worked for some time, and I said I have to join politics. Because if you leave whoever that is there, what you get is there, you cannot give what you don't have. When somebody is campaigning and we are not listening to that person, and at the end of the day we fold our arms and the person gets to office, he can't do more than what they have upstairs. So democracy is growing, and we have to appreciate that. The military rule, the best military rule, is worst government in democracy. Today we have seen people protesting on the streets. Nobody is disturbing them. You can see police even guiding them, and that's a civilized environment. During the military junta, I was arrested 3, 4, 5 times. You have to take, in fact, detention without trial.
You can see the shots of the protests here.
The detention without trial. You can see protests going on, and it's a plus to our democracy. I can't shy away from it. A lot of improvements are going on in Nigeria, and if you look at what the president said today, recognizing that they are heroes and heroine of democracy. People have made sacrifice for this democracy and will continue to make sacrifice for democracy. Road was never built in a day. It's going to take time. And thank God that you talk about the local autonomy. We, the people, must guide this democracy and must allow it to work. All the stakeholders must come together. The media, the civil society groups, the judiciary, the civil servant, everybody must come on board to push this democracy to work for our own betterment and our future unborn generation.
Yes, Celestine, do you agree with what Comrade has said?
I stand to disagree.
Okay.
It's also vital issues he mentioned. For instance, he said we have gained a lot. I want to know the area we have gained. When people, you thank God you were a student activist, somebody like me, an activist, a lawyer to that effect, and to the level that I'm participating at the grassroots level. I'm the president general of my town union, so that will show you the level of commitment. I'm a title chief. I'm a cabinet member of my. I want to any party? No, I'm coming. Now, politics and activism, they are two different ballgames. So now, activism, you are there to shift, mount the pressure for change. Yeah. And now I'm coming. You are there to mount the pressure for change. But if you are not self-propelled, if you're not propelled to a certain level, you get saturated and leave the system. Because it's so dense with corruption. Now, what I'm trying to say here...
Yeah, if it's dense with corruption, just like you're saying, some people got to go there.
I'm not now, in a system where Godfatherism is the order of the day, people like us are pushing for change of that narrative. But you can see it's not easy to change. Even at the...
you can't sit on the fence.
I'm coming. You can't even... Even you that is in the public podium now, what effect are you there to enjoy the privilege of being a councillor for the purpose of just being called a councillor or to affect change? In a situation where a local government chairman is penciled down by the governor or the political conference somewhere,
well, maybe in your state.
No, everywhere. Even in Lagos here.
No, you cannot speak for everybody because
I'm telling you what happened.
Yeah.
What happens in Nigeria. All of us are.
You are generalizing it now, right?
I'm coming. See. If we want to face, we are celebrating democracy day today, yes. And we're here to tell Nigerians the truth, and there must be a way forward.
That's what we're doing.
Now, if we want to keep on lying to ourselves, it's just like saying you have a credible election when you know what happened, transpired in all the elections. I'm not talking both presidential, local government.
Election is not credible. No. Lagos lost the election.
I'm coming. But you know what I'm talking about. Look at the protests in the street. People are protesting.
No. Hold on.
You have the right to hold on.
Hold on. Let's get this clear. Even in America, there's still protests. So let us get that clear. Okay, go ahead.
I said that in Nigeria context, all of us are active players in what we are talking about. I know that no election goes without arrangement of the godfathers in Nigeria. In a situation where state governors, you have state electoral Commission that controls the election. Every state is discovered that all the elections in states, once a political party is heading is there as a governor, automatically all the elections that comes out of that local government election will go to swing towards the ruling party in that state. So now, when you say you've gained anything, you know that party members are the same officials conducting the same local government election. So I'm telling you what I know. I'm not sitting in the fence. In fact, I don't want to be an active political person. I'm involved in political activities, but I don't want to be. No. There is time for everything. There is time for everything. But you can't just play aloof and think, we'll get. If we don't tell ourselves the truth,
you'll have your chance.
If we don't tell ourselves the truth, Nigeria cannot change. And the people that are there, when they see us covering up some of the things happening in the streets, it will look as if you are just there to celebrate for nothing. The essence of governance is to affect life and bring positive change in the system. In a situation where you are there, enjoying the privilege, forgetting the purpose, you are not. There's something different from you and the military arrangement. Okay. But in a situation like this, I expect us to hit the ground running by telling the people at the helm of affairs that they are goofing in some areas. There are areas that is coming up encouragingly, but as far as I'm concerned, there are a lot of yarning gap that need to be breached.
Oh, okay, Comrade Dauda, I need you to respond to some of those things.
Thank you very much. You see, if you are making examples, we must be emphatic about it, and that's why I take exception that Lagos. You see, people just say things on the blanket level, godfatherism. Politicians are corrupt. These are blanket excuses. I, as a comrade and activist, I was a PA to a commissioner in Lagos State for 8 years, and I decided that I have to go to grassroots politics because I discovered that there's the vacuum, there's lacuna there. I removed my pride, and I went to the grassroots. Within 6 months, I was made the world chairman of my ward in Ikeja here, and Ifoshi precisely. I was because they saw who is coming, to them, and I became world chairman for 8 years, and you can see the transformation. Because in our own research, I discovered that when we have a meeting, a world meeting, you can have 200 people who are people in the attendees. You have the market women, you have the youth, you have artisans. How many of my colleagues or middle class are in that meeting? Not up to 3 or 5. So when election is coming, and you want me to speak grammar to a market woman to come and vote for me, no, you have to go down to their level. And that is what we must appreciate by this president. Actually, does not just emerge as the president of Nigeria. After Mobi, he came to politics. He also went to the grassroots. Started his politics at the grassroots, mobilized people. Funding, finance in politics is very, very important. And during this June 12 struggle, what was his role as a president? And if today is the president, there's no magic in it. So we cannot just say we want to see. You see, in politics, you can't sit on the fence. And for us to nurture this democracy, for this democracy to grow, you cannot sit on the fence. Everybody must be, all the stakeholders must participate one way or the other. And that's why we're talking about corruption. Fine, there's corruption somewhere. There is a issue. I'm not saying the system is perfect, but if as a local government secretary, I'm secretary of a local government, an NGO for that matter, we must have ESCO meeting. Issues must be discussed. I'm not saying the perfect system, but people are seeing what we are doing as a local government, and you can assess it. But you can't just sit on the fence. As a stakeholder, the media also have rights. Okay, Mr. Man, in the local government, this road is bad. You publish it and let people talk about it. So we can assess. You can ask us what's our score point. What have we been doing as a local government? This to the state governments and the federal. That what have you been doing? We all know that things are not rosy, and I always tell people there's a global crisis of food security, because you can imagine we are home for almost 18 months of COVID. Even in America, where we celebrate today, similar things are going. In UK, people are retrenching. People that japa are coming back home because there's no job. So all these things are factors of what we are today. So when people say we are angry, agree that we are angry.
Okay, I'm going to come to you. You know that these are the factors that are responsible. Now, we'll be looking at what politicians and everybody should do to ameliorate those sufferings. Now, let me ask you that first.
Well, there are some issues, but let me just go to your question. Well, for instance, leadership. I mean, when you talk about pragmatic leadership, that is when you want to affect change, shifting from the old way to a new order. I don't want to believe or don't want to buy into the idea that it's causes that cause food shortage or whatever. It's a systematic arrangement to grind us to a halt. I tell people that Boko Haram activity was hunger, was geared towards creating hunger and famine in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, it's playing out. An average young Nigerian from the north is in the south, riding Okada. These are the people that produce food for us. These are people that goes to farm. Even here in Lagos, most of them they don't even know where they're going. They ride their bike up and down. If you ask them in your own, if you get close, they don't want to be here. But they are here because the system did not care about what brought them down. They came here because of insecurity in the north. So for now, we expected, okay, how many local government is talking about farming? Most of them are talking about buying Okada. If Nigeria wants to change, we start from the government. They should create a system where local government should be talking about farming. I mean, buying tractors, bringing herbicides, fertilizer, and processing plants that will enable people to go back to farm, encourage another young man to go to farm. In my own state, we have arrangement to that effect. But the government is even playing aloof. We are trying to form cooperative society.
Which states are you from?
I'm from Enugu State.
Okay.
So, and we are trying to form cooperative society to enable people to go back to farm. But they are not doing anything in that regard. And you are telling me it's COVID-19. How is COVID-19 stopping people from, government from buying tractors, forming small cooperative societies, giving them adequate modern facility? This young man that left school wants to farm. If you talk to average young boy, they want to go to farm. But the facilities are not there. And this, if you're telling me to go to farm and stay farm the way my grandfather and father farmed last 2 years, it's not a substantial approach. The main issue is that the government is not pragmatic in fixing Nigerian problem. If you fix insecurity, okay, governors are collecting, security vote. How many vehicles have you seen? I'm not talking of Lagos. Lagos is even trying to talk of. Go to Southeast. How many governors are buying vehicles? If you go to Southeast, you see individual effort from different communities. Because I told you I'm a town union leader. I'm the town union president of Amanato Kingdom, Amanato Thomas Community, Ojiri Local Government in Enugu State. So now there I know the effort every day in Lagos, I'm making calls to the village, following up issues. Now, the security of the community is our own effort. We buy equipment for them. So now, what is the effort of the government?
Yeah, okay, you have said this now, and it's a lesson for all the governors and everybody to know. Now, have you brought them to accountability? Because that's one issue.
That is the area I want Nigerians to, most of us, that's why I said we have to talk to ourselves today. Let's face realities. Nigerian citizens have to understand that there are civic responsibility that is expected of the citizens, not only the politicians. Because pressure comes there's no growth without pressure. If you don't pressurize these guys, they will be there thinking they are doing well. So most of them, even those ones that are saying they are sitting at home in the South, I was telling them, sitting at home, of what effect, how will it change anything? If you want to sit at home, go to government house and sit there. Don't stop killing people. Because the state governors are getting monthly allocation from Abuja. Every month, all these state governors get monthly allocation from Abuja. Oh. They are not doing anything with that money. Okay. And you are here sitting at home telling me that sit at home to solve your problem.
Okay, let me talk to Comrade Dauda to proffer solution or suggestions to solve some of these issues.
Well, as a comrade, my own solution is very simple. It's about rules of engagement. Democracy has come to stay. How do we nurture this democracy? How do we ensure that this democracy grows? That is the solution to our problem. All stakeholders must be involved. The civil society, the media, the politician, all must be on deck. You talk about accountability now. How many of us take time to ask the local government chairman or the governor, Your Excellency, sir, we want to appreciate that you did so road, but I want to also refer you to so road beside this road. When are we expecting construction on this road? For that you have thanked the man, he will be glad to respond. And don't forget that this thing also, has to do with availability of funds. So for us to move forward in this country, for us to grow, and for people to be happy, all hands must be on deck. Many of us, you and I, must come to this politics. and look for a way out. Because I must tell you the fact, you cannot sit on the fence and think that magic will come from me. It's not possible. But if all of us, are there, no, you cannot push me. Let all of us, join hands together and make sure that this democracy works.
Okay. Yes, I'm afraid time may not permit us to really take more questions. If the opportunity comes again, we'll still discuss issues like that. We've been discussing on democracy and how June 12 has brought us back to democratic rule again after the 31 years of the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, and have an uninterrupted 25 years of governance, of democratic governance in Nigeria. I want to thank you so much, Comrade Akim Dauda, for being part of Talk Point. Yes, I also want to thank you, Celestine Ilo, for also being part of Talk Point.
It's a pleasure.
Yes, on that note, we've come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 still remains the line to call in times of emergency. Stay out of trouble. Do what is right so that Nigeria can continue to get better. I am Omololu Roson, saying bye-bye.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.
Go back to your natural diet. All these multivitamins and blood tonic, they are all derived from one plant or fruit or vegetable.
It's always good to read labels of packaged food and to check the sodium content that is present in whatever you're buying, just to be smart.
Nutrition is important at every stage of life.